Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, dead slayers, peasants, vassals, my Zionist brethren. I'm a useful idiot. Welcome. And today I want to talk about the recent protests or prayers by 500,000 ultra-orthodox Jews, Hasidic Jews, in Jerusalem recently. So that's 500,000 ultra-orthodox Jews. So that's a huge crowd by any stretch of the imagination. And I haven't seen a whole lot of coverage of this event, but I find it rather fascinating. And the reason why they are protesting at this point is because since the very inception of the Israeli state in 1948, the Hasidic ultra-Orthodox Jews have not been required to serve in the military. And generally speaking, in Israel, every man and woman are required to serve in the military for a certain amount of time. And so now they're changing the law so that even ultra-Orthodox Jews have to register for the military. So there's quite an uproar. So we're seeing a fissure in Israeli society right now. It's rather interesting. So you have the very hard right-wing settlers who are also very Orthodox, but also very militant. And then we have the ultra-right wing of the Orthodox Jews, the ultra-Orthodox Hasidic Jews, which this demonstration is a part. And then we have the normal Jewish society in Israel, which is predominantly a fairly middle-class affair of European stock. In fact, most of them are generally Europeans and not necessarily Jews, except by faith. And so anyway, now we have this situation with these Hasidic Jews changing their allegiances, at least at this moment, because now they're going to have to participate in the Israeli war state. And this comes in an interesting time as well, because we have Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, adamant about having Israel declared a Jewish state. And yet one of the most Jewish elements in their society, these ultra-Orthodox Jews, are now being required to serve in the military against their will and against their religion, interestingly enough. And so I wanted to bring that up. And so it's worth checking out to see these crowds that have formed, but certainly there will be no alternative. Even though the law requires that anyone resisting is arrested, there probably won't be very much action on that point, I would assume. But that said, another point I want to bring up about this is that it clearly shows the difference to me between a Jew and a Zionist. And a lot of people, when I do videos on Israel, are rather critical of saying anything critical about Israel. And of course, the cliched response you get every time of being an anti-Semite. And I want to point out, this is a good example, exactly what I mean about I could hardly be an anti-Semite, because in this situation, I still resent the Zionist government of Israel and its policies, like I do on many occasions. And this is one of those occasions. And interestingly enough, I am siding with the ultra-Orthodox Jews, the ones who actually don't believe that Israel has the right to this land and the creation of a Jewish state, because biblically it's not the right time. And they also feel for the way that the Palestinians are treated and are against the apartheid. And they incidentally also certainly don't want to participate in the armed conflicts that are going on. And so in all those senses, I side with the ultra-Orthodox Jews in Israel. I love these Jews. And so therefore, how can anyone call me an anti-Semite in this situation, criticizing Israeli government policy? So I lay forth that challenge. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.